Cameras, we are good to go. Before we continue, please do not go live on the press conference. And when the press conference is on, please do not click any photographs with your flashes on. And please put your phones on silent. We'll take one question at a time. Who wants to go first? Yes, please.
Hello. Thank you. Yeah, obviously he's an important player for us, and you know, he's an important all-rounder, so helps us really balance our squad out really well. But he's going to be missing this game, so we'll have to work around that and see what's the best combination and what we can come up with best. I mean, you know, in the end, you know, we've got to work with the 14 that we've got, and you know, sometimes you do expect that these kind of things, you know, can happen. So that's why you've got a squad, and we'll have to see what works best for these conditions and these wickets. But yeah, I mean, probably might not have the kind of balance that we probably used in the first 4 games.
Hello, sir. All the best for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
I have a 2-part question. One is, in most of the games so far, the Indian spinners have been able to choke the opposition out. Is it? Do you guys have also observed that the opposition batters have been a little circumspect and not put the spinners under pressure? And B, in terms of the opposition's quality to play spin, is this India's biggest challenge so far, at least from facing the spin point of view?
I wouldn't really want to focus much on the opposition players. I'd really like to compliment the role of our spinners. You know, I think they have done a fantastic job. You know, I think the way the 3 of them bowled in the first game, and then obviously we played with Kuldeep and Jadeja in the next 3 games. But just the way they bowled, and like you said rightly, you know, the way they've been able to bring us back into games, control games, take wickets, bring the run rate down, has been more, I think, down to their skill and their ability. It's nice for us to have, you know, the both of them in the last 3 games, a lot of experience, different skills as well, even though both of them are left-arm spinners. They obviously different kinds of left-handed bowlers, left-arm spinners. So that gives us variation, gives us different angles that they bowl at. So yeah, big credit to them, and also just you know, the bowling coaches working with them to really ensure that they've been bowling really well. I thought Rohit's done a great job of handling them really well and working out the right ends. Some really good field placings as well. So yes, I think all in all, we've done a really good job, and hopefully we can keep it going.
राहुल, कुछ रिपोर्ट्स दिखाई दे रहे हैं अबाउट द विकेट्स की ऑस्ट्रेलिया का मैच हो या पाकिस्तान का मैच हो, विकेट के ऊपर टिप्पणी हुई है आईसीसी की तरफ से. आप कैसे देखते हो, क्योंकि हमने तो आउट भी निकाला है, हमने रन्स भी बनाए हैं, और कभी किसी विकेट के बारे में हम तो बोलते नहीं. तो आप एज अ कोच किस नज़रिए से इस सबको देखते हो?
हाँ, मैं तो मतलब मैं डेफिनेटली रिस्पेक्टफुली मैं डिसएग्री करूँगा. जो एवरेज रेटिंग दिया गया है उन 2 विकेटों के लिए, मेरे ख्याल से वो गुड विकेट्स थे. आप सिर्फ मे बी I'll answer this in English because I might not get the I might get myself into trouble by saying something. No, I think if you only want to see 350 games, आज क्या हुआ है स्कोर उधर वो मैच में? If you want to only see 350 matches and rate only those wickets as good, then you know, I disagree with that. I think you have to see different skills on display as well. It's not about, if we wanted to see only 4s and 6s being hit, then we have T20 wickets as well, where, you know, honestly in Delhi or in Pune, you know, probably 350 plus wickets as well. If only those are good wickets, then why are the bowlers here? You know, Why have spinners at all, for that matter? If you all want spinners to come in and bowl 10-60 and go, so that you can watch 4s and 6s, and 1 ball spins or 2 balls spin, and you rate that as average, I disagree with that, because I think we should see all skills on display. The ability to rotate strike through the middle over. We see the quality of watching Jadeja bowl, or a Santner bowl, or a Zampa bowl, or watching Kane Williamson rotate the strike through the middle, Virat Kohli and KL Rahul, the way they batted against Australia. Those are skills as well. Those also need to come out and be shown and be displayed. On some of the wickets, even we've played. And honestly, in Delhi and Pune, rotating the strike in the middle overs wasn't necessarily a very difficult skill. The contest was about who could hit more 4s and 6s. So that's not the only way, in my opinion, respectfully, to be able to judge wickets. I think we need to have a better way of deciding what is good and average. So I give you an example. So I don't know what the rating was for those wickets, but we played the T20 World Cup in Australia. In Perth, we played a game, 138 plays 138. India plays South Africa, seaming and swinging all over the place. Right? That's a T20 game. I don't know what rating was given to that. I hope, maybe I hope that was rated average as well. World T20 final, Pakistan plays England. Again, 130 scored in a T20 game. I'm not complaining about it. I think it's good. It's great. That wicket at Perth was good. It challenged different skills. It brought different skills out in display. Right? So, and I'm saying this even though we've lost those games. So, and that's no problem with that. Sometimes wickets will turn a bit. Sometimes they'll seam a bit. They'll swing a bit. They'll bounce a bit. All we want to see is 6s and 4s being hit and 350 scores as good wickets. Then I disagree.
Rahul, I just want to know your thoughts on this. How do you see in this World Cup, like you mentioned 350 scores, I was about to ask you that, whether that is really fair enough for judgment of skills.
So in a tournament, I just want to see variety, yes, there will be some good wickets in a tournament. There will be sometimes 350 scored and, games that go at high scoring. There will be sometimes wickets where the ball turns, brings the spinners into play. There'll be other wickets where it might seem a little bit. You've got a long tournament, you're playing in India, different parts of the country. There'll be different wickets, different challenges. The teams that are able to cope with all of those challenges and deal with that are the ones that will end up, being successful. We as a team have to be able to focus on that and work with that. If you want to standardize everything and make every wicket a 350 wicket, there's very good skills on display even in a 350 plus wicket. Yes, we see some great hitting, we see some, terrific shots being played and all that, but other skills get missed out, and that's fine on that particular day. But for a few games, when it spins a little bit or something happens, it brings the bowlers into the game, you start rating them as average. Where does it leave the bowlers? Why are they coming then? If all we want to see is 4, like I said, we have T20, play 2 T20 matches then.
Rahul, during your playing days, you have kept wickets in ODIs and batted, and when your primary vocation was batting. Your namesake is doing the same thing now. How difficult it is as a role?
Yeah, it's certainly not easy, and I think he's doing a fantastic job of it. I thought Rahul's really kept superbly in this tournament and then batted really well whenever he's got the opportunity to do that, especially in the first game. But yeah, I think it is challenging because for someone like him who, and having had that experience myself, he's not someone who keeps regularly at all, but he's probably kept a little bit more than I have. As a youngster, he kept probably up to his under-19 days, and he's kept in a few T20 games, as well for Karnataka and all that. So kept a little bit more than I did, but certainly not easy, considering he was also out with injury for 4 or 5 months, and when we first decided that he would keep, and we wanted to have that kind of option with him as one of the options of being able to keep and bat in the middle order. And we thought we would build him up to this tournament by giving him game time and building him up. But unfortunately, due to his injury, he actually couldn't keep for a while. But the way he's come back, the way he's worked hard, even in his injury, he kind of worked really hard when he started getting back to sort of skills. Spent a lot of time with the wicket keeping, worked really hard on it. So yeah, I thought he's kept really well in this thing, and it's really good to see. Just certainly gives us a lot of confidence in him and his abilities.
Coach, just taking a cue from the question around Hardik, there have been a lot of talk in the past as well where Rohit had said that there's a lot of clarity about roles of certain players. So if you could just explain the kind of role which you had in mind for someone like Shardul Thakur and how much that is going to change given that now Hardik is not available for this game.
Yeah, so, I mean, without going into too much of specifics, and it's hard to go into a lot of specifics in a PC, but yeah, I mean, Shardul's clearly his role was to be that kind of bowling all-rounder for us, in the games that he played. We saw him as someone who certainly has a happy knack of taking wickets, as we've seen, and then bowling those middle overs for us and being like a fourth seaming option for us on certain wickets, which would probably require that fourth seaming option. And plus, obviously, he hasn't had a chance to really bat a lot over the last bit, but certainly he's been working very hard in the nets with his batting, and we've been working very hard on it. We've seen that he has the ability to hit some big shots and play some good shots. Of course, we've seen it more probably in Test cricket, not so much in one-day cricket as yet, because like I said, he's not had the opportunity to bat much. But certainly that was the kind of role that he fitted in for us in that bowling all-rounders role. Obviously with Hardik not being there and Hardik sort of being one of those four seamers, we'll just have to see with the combination we can go with. We certainly can go with obviously the three fast bowlers or the three spinners. With that kind of combination, we still could play him and play Ash and move Jadeja up. There are many different permutations and combinations. I wouldn't want to give too much away. I mean, we are pretty clear on what our playing 11 is tomorrow, but I wouldn't want to be giving too much away. But yeah, I think there are different combinations we could come up with. Obviously, the three seamers, having someone like Shami sitting out there and bringing him in this game is a great option. Some cases, there's Ashwin, who's obviously been sitting out, who's got great quality as well. So, yeah, there are 2 or 3 combinations we could use considering this till Hardik gets back.
Just adding to that, how much of a factor Ishan being a left-hander against New Zealand's left-arm spinners, will that be a factor as well? And also that he's played the first 2 games as opposed to someone like Surya who's not played yet. How much of a factor is that?
I mean, it is. It's nice to have Ishan, and he's been, like you said rightly, he's been playing well. He is a left-hander, but again, Surya has also come into some great form against Australia, as we saw, played a couple of fantastic innings. Absolutely fantastic player against spin, as we know, left arm spin or off spin or any kind of spin for that matter. And plus the role may be for a middle overs role, so we'll just have to see which one we want to. We are pretty clear about the kind of roles that people can play. So yeah, if we're looking for someone who might look to be a bit of an enforcer for us in the lower middle order, then Surya is certainly someone who can do that. If you're looking for someone a little bit higher up the order, then maybe we might go with Ishan. So it just depends on what we're looking at.
राहुल, अब तक आपने जो मैचेस खेले हैं, चेन्नई, अहमदाबाद, दिल्ली, पुणे, सारे गर्मी थी, कंडीशंस कितनी बदलती हैं यहाँ पे, और स्पेशली टेम्परेचर तो होता ही है, ड्रॉप हो गई, ड्यू फैक्टर कितना इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाता है और उसके बाद टॉस कितना इम्पोर्टेंट हो जाएगा आपके लिए?
देखिए, ड्यू फैक्टर तो इम्पोर्टेंट, मतलब ड्यू है इसमें, ये कुछ छिपाने की तो बात है नहीं इसमें. आप पता है कि धर्मशाला में आएंगे जो टेम्परेचर ठंडा होता है तो ड्यू ज़रूर आएगा, और ड्यू एक फैक्टर होता है, पर आप उसके बारे में सोच नहीं सकते. ज़रूर आपके एक माइंड में ज़रूर एक रहता है कि आप ड्यू आ सकता है और आपकी क्या टैक्टिक्स, क्या स्ट्रेटेजी हो सकती है, पर आपको कोई गारंटी नहीं है कि आप टॉस जीतेंगे. तो आपको दोनों प्लान करने पड़ते हैं. और अच्छी बात है यहाँ पे है, देखने को भी मिली है कि यहाँ पे नीदरलैंड्स ने डिफेंड भी किया साउथ अफ्रीका अगेंस्ट. पहला मैच जो था शायद बांग्लादेश ने चेज किया इनके अगेंस्ट, पर वो शायद दिन का मैच था जो बांग्लादेश ने चेज, और रात में भी यहाँ पे नीदरलैंड्स ने डिफेंड किया स्कोर. तो ऐसी बात नहीं है कि आप डिफेंड नहीं कर सकते. अगर आपको बॉलिंग डालनी पड़े ड्यू में तो फिर भी आपको ये लेके शायद आपको थोड़े ज़्यादा रन बनाने पड़ते हैं, थोड़ा पॉजिटिवली खेल के थोड़ा आपको एक कुशन देना पड़ता है. और अगर आप बॉलिंग भी करके डिफेंड भी कर सकते हैं इस पे. तो देखिए, टॉस हमारे हाथ में नहीं होता है, क्या हम बैटिंग बॉलिंग करेंगे, कभी कभी आपके हाथ में होता है, कभी कभी आपके हाथ में नहीं होता है. तो फिर आपको वो लेके आप डिसाइड नहीं कर सकते. पर आपको ये बिलीफ होनी चाहिए कि जो भी हालात है, जो भी सिचुएशन है, हम पूरी कोशिश करेंगे मैच को जीतने के लिए.
Coach, how do you assess New Zealand as an opposition? Top of the table clash. They've not had it easy with them in the past.
Yeah, a very good side. I will say that they're playing very good cricket. They play in India a lot. They played here. They come on A tours to India a lot. A lot of their players have played in the IPL, so they're very used to these conditions. A lot of experience in their team as well. If you look at their squad, we were going through their squad and obviously doing our strategy meetings, and they do have a lot of experience and depth in their squad as well. They're well balanced. So, yes, of course, a very good team and playing good cricket as well. So we know we will have to be at our absolute best. But I think it's really exciting for us as well because we believe that we are playing good cricket at the moment. So it should be a really good contest, and we know that we'll have to play well. But yeah, we're confident. Thank you.